Welcome to the fourth lecture on vibration of a stretch string. In this lecture, I am going to discuss about struck string. In previous lecture, I have already discussed about plugged string. So like plucking, striking at a string is a method to set transverse wave in a stretch string. You just strike your string with an hammer. Suppose this is your string of length L and it is rigidly fixed between two ends x equals to 0 and x equals to L. So this is the schematic for stretch string. Okay. Now just you hit this with a hammer, and this hammer is just for the representation. You don't think that you have to use this kind of hammer. Okay. And suppose the point of strike is x equals to A, and the element over which this hammer is striking is dA. Now this is the setup for the struck string, and now what we are going to do, we will going to solve the wave equation in this kind of setup and try to find out the mode exist in the string, the kind of vibration it will exhibit, and many more. So let's first discuss what will be the initial condition when you have this kind of setup. So the initial condition, the first initial condition you can easily guess that we are not giving any displacement to the string. So at time t equals to 0, initial displacement will be 0. In plugged string we gave some kind of initial displacement, but in struck string initial displacement is 0. What we are doing, we are hitting with the hammer, so we are transferring momentum from hammer to the string. That means we are trying to create velocity. Okay. Now the point of contact is not all over the string, only the particular element of dA. So the velocity will be 0 everywhere except in that element. So we can write the initial velocity at any point is 0 except a small striking region. Okay. Now there are many factors which can affect the string, like the weight of hammer, means weight ratio of hammer in string, uh, means duration of contact, and the velocity of hammer, and many more things. But we are neglecting all these things. We are just working on simplest assumption, and this assumption well enough to give us the reasonable answer. Okay. So we will start with this initial condition. Now this we know, this is the transverse wave equation. Okay, in a string. This I have already derived in lecture 1, and the solution of this equation in the case of a stretch string is given by this, and this I have derived in lecture 2. So either you believe these two equations and carry from here, or you can watch those two videos to understand where these two equations came, and then you can carry. You can find the link of video in the description. And so we have these two constants an and bn, and this constant we can determine using those initial condition. Okay, and this will be omega n. So, and please note this kn is n pi by l, where n is any integer 1 to infinity, l is the length of a string, omega n is frequency of nth mode, c is the velocity of wave in the string, which is given by root over T by M. T is the tension in the string, M is the mass per unit length. So this is the general solution. To find out A and Bn, we just substitute our initial condition. So our first initial condition, that y equals to 0 at t equals to 0. Just substitute that condition. We will have an sine knx equals to 0. This term will be goes out. This term will give us 1. So we will left with an sine knx. Now this is true for all values of x. That means an must be 0. We are done. We got one constant. Now our solution become this. We left with one constant. To find out this, we use our second initial condition, which is y dot at t equals to 0. So y dot equals to, if you just take a time derivative of it, it will become omega n cos omega nt. Cos omega nt will be 1 at t equals to 0. So we will left with this. Now we have this equation. This bn, remember this bn we can determine using Fourier series method. We are exactly following the previous lecture. Okay, this bn we can determine by Fourier series method. If you are not comfortable with this name or this method, just erase this from your mind and simply think that what we have to do, we have to multiply both sides by sine ksx and integrate over 0 to L. Okay, and here ks, s is any integer, so it can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3 dot dot dot. So we are assuming s. So if you multiply and integrate over 0 to L, now in left hand side we have this, in right hand side we have sum of infinite number of terms, and that sum is over n. Now note, this integration will be 0 when n is not equals to s. How? Suppose you take 1 by 2 outside, then it will be like 2 sine a sine b kind of identity. So you can simply write this as cos a minus b minus cos a plus b, and then you integrate that, you will get sine term, and if you substitute this limit, it will give you 0. Please try to do it. Don't believe me blindly. Try to do it. And if you will see n is equals to s, then this term will be square. Sine is square, okay? And then if you solve that, you will get L by 2. So we need to find out this. We need to solve this equation, right? So this contain infinite number of terms. But if you see these two integration, you will find out all term will goes to 0 except n equals to s. So even though we have infinite number of term, all will be 0 except sth term, and that will give us L by 2. So the right hand side become omega s bs L by 2. So from that we can get bs equals to 2 over L omega s 0 to L omega y dot sine ks x dx. Now s is dummy index, we can use any character for it, so we are using n, so it become bn equals to 2 by L omega n and this integral. Now in order to solve this, we need to substitute y dot. We know that y dot is 0 everywhere except for element dA. So we can change the limit of this integral to a plus dA, because everywhere is 0 except in this limit. Now if you note that dA is very small, okay, is tending to 0. So in that infinitesimally small window, we can assume knx as a constant. It's no longer a variable, and that constant will be approximately equal to kn a. You can take that out, sin kn a, and we will left with this. Now we cannot go further. Why? We don't know the y dot. Y dot is not known to us. So what we can do, we assume that this integral equals to a. Okay, this integral is equals to a. So we can write bn. Now we know an, we know bn. So just write down the equation. So this is our final equation. Okay, this is the final form which we want. Just substitute the value of omega n, kn. Substitute those two values, you will get the form of y. Now one thing you can note from here, that it contains 1 over n. It's a plugged string, there was 1 over n square. So what we can note, the important facts are, amplitude of nth harmonic is proportional to 1 over n. So harmonic will fall but slowly compared to the plugged string. So the sound from the struck string will be richer in harmonic compared to plugged string. So if you are playing a guitar and if you are playing a piano, then piano will contain more harmonic compared to plugged string. Okay. Another thing you can note, that nth harmonic will be absent if striking is such that it will satisfy this equation. Now here you can choose your a. So for a particular value of a, if it satisfies this condition, then if you solve it out, it will give you n equals to pl by a, where p is any integer. This is exactly similar what we have done in the plugged string. It is true for any kind of wave generation method. Okay, so suppose your striking point is midpoint, that is a equals to l by 2, then n will be 2p. It is 2, 4, 6 and so on. So all the even harmonic will be absent. Let's try to understand from this point. This is your string and these are the representation of various modes. These are the first, second, third, fourth harmonic. Okay, and what you can see from here, that in the midpoint, okay, the second and fourth harmonic have a node. Node means where the displacement is 0. Okay, so displacement at this point is 0. That means this is the node point for harmonics 2 and harmonic 4. And as I said that if striking point is midpoint, then second, fourth and sixth harmonic will be absent and so on. That means only those harmonics are missing whose node point is exactly midpoint. So the general statement we can make from here, that if you striking at any point or plucking at any point, then only those harmonic will be missing which required that point as a node point. So this is our general statement and it is exactly true for any kind of method, as I said. And I think I have covered what we want. So I am stopping here. See you in next part. Thank you.